Thank you for starting your week with 10 minutes of commercial-free news for the classroom. I'm Carl Azuz, and this is CNN Student News. First up today, a natural disaster in Indonesia. This weekend wasn't the first time Mount Sinabung erupted. It's been doing that on and off for months now. But it is the first time an eruption from this volcano has killed someone. At least 15 people died on Saturday when the mountain sent plumes of ash more than a mile into the sky. Tens of thousands had recently been evacuated because of this volcano's activity, but authorities had thought the worst was over when it hit. Volcanoes are pretty common here. Indonesia is located on what's called the Pacific Ring of Fire. It's a horseshoe-shaped line around the Pacific Ocean, with earthquakes and volcanoes all over the place. Mount Sinabung is one of more than 130 active volcanoes in Indonesia alone. From Indonesia, we move northwest to Thailand. Elections there last week were supposed to ease some of the tensions in the country. In some areas, that didn't work. The nation is divided over its leader. For months, thousands of demonstrators who believe their government is corrupt have been pushing for Prime Minister Yingluck Shinawatra to resign. At the same time, thousands of others have been supporting her. This has been going on for a few months, and there has been some violence over the issue. Hundreds have been wounded, at least 10 people have died. But over the weekend, people leading the demonstrations were calling for peaceful protests. And while many of those who oppose the government have refused to vote in the election, many of those who support it have been unable to.
It was meant to be their day. Voters, whether pro-government or simply demanding their right to vote, protesting outside a polling station that had closed down after an anti-government protest.
Election, we want to vote today. These people have come to cast their vote, they're holding up their ID cards, but they're not being allowed into these district headquarters.
One man, one vote. This is democracy, this woman complains. A short while later, they stormed the building. There was an altercation with the police. This woman rushing upstairs demanding to see the ballot boxes to cast her vote. Eventually, these voters were convinced to file police complaint forms and go home. One of the first people who did manage to vote on election day was the Prime Minister.
Prime Minister Yingluck has come to cast her vote. She's been insistent that this election must go ahead despite anti-government protests that didn't want this election to go ahead and for calls for her to step down.
Those against this election boycotted it because they believed it wouldn't achieve their demands to cleanse Thai politics of corruption. No, I didn't go to vote. I want reform before election, this anti-government protester tells CNN. The government denies allegations of corruption. Prime Minister Yingluck insisting she will only go if people vote her out of government, saying an election is the only way forwards for Thailand. Anti-government protesters may not have been able to completely shut down Bangkok as they planned to, but they have significantly disrupted the election.
Time for the shout out. Black History Month is in February because it's close to the birthdays of what two people? If you think you know it, shout it out. Is it Frederick Douglass and Abraham Lincoln, Mary McLeod Bethune and Thurgood Marshall, Harriet Tubman and Carter G. Woodson, or Medgar Evers and Martin Luther King Jr.? You've got 3 seconds. Go! President Lincoln was born in February, and it's believed that Frederick Douglass was too, so that's when Black History Month is celebrated. That's your answer, and that's your shout out. As Black History Month begins in the U.S., we're bringing you some inspiring words from African American leaders. From civil rights icon Rosa Parks, I have learned over the years that when one's mind is made up, this diminishes fear. From U.S. Supreme Court Justice Thurgood Marshall, in recognizing the humanity of our fellow beings, we pay ourselves the highest tribute. The words of abolitionist Harriet Tubman, always remember, you have within you the strength, the patience, and the passion to reach for the stars to change the world. And from civil rights leader Martin Luther King, darkness cannot drive out darkness, only light can do that. Hate cannot drive out hate, only love can do that. There's a theme to today's roll call. See if you can catch it. First, we're running with the Spartans of Salk Middle School. They're watching from Spokane, Washington. Then we'll pass it to the Eagles of Omar D. Blair Charter School. They're receiving CNN Student News in Denver, Colorado. And we touch down with the Franklin High School Warriors. The end zone is in Franklin Township in Somerset, New Jersey. Last night, Super Bowl 48 ended after we produced this show. Of course, a lot of headlines focused on that today. One of ours is also about football, but at the high school level. Isaac Lufkin is a 14-year-old kicker. He has talent. He has accuracy. He has overcome extraordinary challenges. And what he doesn't have doesn't stop him from doing anything.
There's a lot more to this kick. And a lot more to Isaac Lufkin than his winning field goals.
I want to play in the NFL. For the Ravens or...
You want to keep wearing purple?
Yeah, purple.
He's still riding high from an undefeated season and the freshman football state title. He led his division in onside kick recoveries this year. Remarkable considering this is what Isaac goes through just to suit up.
You don't want anyone's pity.
Nah, I don't like pity. Pity just makes me weaker.
He means it.
Yes, I don't like people helping me because, it makes me feel like I can't do it. I drop my backpack and someone helps me pick it up. I drop it again and I pick it back up because if I can't do it, no one else is going to be able to do it sooner or later.
For me, I see him put on his football jersey and I'm just filled with pride because he's my little football star.
There's no question Isaac has overcome an unimaginable challenge, moving beyond the arms he was born without to the perseverance born within.
Isaac Lufkin will again kick off the classical.
As soon as he walked in, I pointed and said, "You're our place kicker."
His potential was immediately obvious to Classical High School athletic director Bob Palazzo.
I would not be the guy that would want to tell him he couldn't do something, put it that way.
What does he do for his teammates?
I think he gives them hope. I mean, you see a guy with no arms strap up and put a helmet on and launch himself into a violent pile, and get up and smile.
Palazzo calls Isaac's knack for accuracy a skill that's tough to teach. His determination was clear from the beginning. This is Isaac learning how to dress himself.
Hey, give up. No, don't give up. There you go. Yes. Very good.